guys, so today's video is going to be something a little bit different. It's not necessarily book related or movie related, some things that I usually put on my channel. This is going to be more of kind of like a story time, and it is going to be all about my experience getting my nipples pierced. So I got this done less than 48 hours ago, and I decided I wanted to make a video while it was still fresh in my mind in terms of price, the pain, aftercare, all that kind of stuff. And so let's just start from the top. Honestly, this was not something I had in mind to get. The idea just kind of happened organically. It all started when I was with a few co-workers. I don't really want to, like, you know, shout out to anybody because not everybody wants people to know, but I was with a few co-workers, and it was three of us girls, including myself, and we all got on the topic of boobies, and specifically how we all kind of felt that we were a little bit smaller chested and that we were kind of insecure for the longest time about how our bodies looked, because we just didn't feel that we measured up to bigger girls, we'll put it that way, and our insecurities, and over the years how we've kind of just dealt with it, and we kind of just embrace how we look, because there's not much you can really do about it. And one of the girls mentioned how she as well, because we were all kind of the same frame, smaller chested, she was saying for the longest time she was insecure as well, but she ended up getting her nipples pierced, and that she felt so much more confident. She really liked how they looked on her body, and how she loved them, honestly, and they gave her so much more confidence. So she was like, would you guys like to see? And me and my other coworker looked at each other and we were like, actually, yeah, we would. We're curious. And so she showed them to us, and they looked so good. They were so adorable. They were cute. They were perfect. And I was like, I want that. I have to get this. It's gonna happen. I just need it. I wanted it. And that's something about me that I realized, that once my mind comes up with something and I want to do it, I'm gonna do it. So it wasn't a matter of like, well, maybe I'll get around to it. It was like just a matter of when it was going to happen at that point. So honestly, I kind of went to the drawing board and I typed in my city and piercing tattoo shops just to kind of get an idea of who was out there, because the girl who initially got it done said that she had a really bad experience. She went to one of those places that only charges $50, and they ended up messing up one of the piercings. It was slightly crooked, so she had to wait for it to heal, then go back and redo it, which I can honestly say I will never do any touch-ups or anything. They came out great, by the way, but it was so painful, and we'll get to the pain in a little bit because that was something else. Oh my god, it was so bad. So anyways, that's where she went, and so she was like, you should go where I went, but then I was kind of like, ugh, if she had a bad experience, honestly, I'm not gonna want to go there. So not even 48 hours from that whole event that happened, the other girl who was there as well ended up getting hers done, and so same thing, she went somewhere kind of relatively close by, paid about $50, and she wasn't really, she really didn't like the piercer. She said the piercer was kind of unprofessional. She did go to a female. I went to a male piercer, we'll get to that in a second, but that one of them isn't necessarily as parallel as the other. It was another $50 place. So at this point I was like, great, I have knowledge from two people that I do know that personally had this piercing, that went to one of those places where it was a little bit cheaper. I don't want to do that. So I don't want to just pay 50 bucks, have them done, and then one of them be off or crooked or slanted or not proportional to my body. So at that point, like I said, I did more research about people in my area who I should go see, and I stumbled across this guy, and he had glowing 5 stars reviews on Yelp. In terms, it was all female girls who were like, I was so comfortable around him, my piercing turned out great. He does, I mean, you name it, but his nose piercings, cartilage piercings, everywhere, they all just looked so precise. Even his belly buttons, they were on point, so level. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to this man and go get my piercing done by him. So the shop charges for nipple piercing for both, because sometimes, I mean, they don't really, I mean, they kind of charge by the nipple, but at the same time they don't, meaning if you just wanted one, obviously it would have been half the price, but some places will just charge a flat rate. Anyways, I paid $102 for mine. That included the aftercare and the jewelry. It gave me a wound wash, piercing, aftercare, It is a sterile saline solution, which they say just put it onto a Q-tip and just kind of clean the area. So anyways, yeah, it was $102 and it was so worth it. I really recommend that you guys really research the piercer so that way you guys know they are of good quality and they're not just, you know, not sterile, that they're just kind of like, okay, come over here, and they just pierce you and it has, I mean, they don't really care. So, a male piercer. For me, like I said, the person didn't really matter to me who did it. If it was female, I would have preferred, but like I said, his reviews were all 5 stars, and they were like, go to him, I'm gonna go to him again for my next piercing. I mean, they were just amazing. So at that point, I was like, well, I don't necessarily think it's awkward, but I knew I wanted to go with my boyfriend, and he was not down with the idea of a male being the piercer. But at the same time, when I showed him all the reviews and about the girls that I worked with, personal experience going to with cheaper places, he was like, okay, well, if you're gonna get it done, let's go to the best to get it. And that was another thing that was awesome. I'll just add that in there. If you're gonna go get something done, do it for yourself. It was really, he had no idea I was even getting this done. I actually came up to him and told him, and he was of course down. He's kind of more alternative, so he thought it was a really cool idea. He was very supportive, but had never mentioned to me that he was into this, and so it was kind of like, surprise! He was really excited about the idea until later on I told him it was about a guy, and he was like, but fine. Anyway, so he was with me. We went into the room and we kind of said, like, hello, break the ice a little bit. And so the guy actually did not use a clamp. I know some places use a clamp and then they run the needle through, but he actually took like a toothpick with ink and marked them exactly, looked at me, looked at them, and was like, okay, boop, boop, matching them up. And then at that point, he's like, okay, sit down in the chair. And so I was sitting down and he was like, you're gonna take 2 deep breaths, 1 in, exhale, breathe in, and exhale. And on that second exhale, he ran it through. He started with this one, and oh my god, it was excruciating. Now to me, I have a high pain tolerance, so I thought that this was gonna be a breeze. I was gonna be like, oh, can't believe people were even making this a big deal. I've had my Monroe pierced, my cartilage pierced, I've had my ears double pierced, my ears are gauged, I have my ears gauged to a 2, I might go to a 0, but other than that, and I have 1 tattoo. So at that point, I was kind of like, well, I've had tons of piercings, I'm not really afraid of pain, so pain wasn't even an issue for me. I wasn't even freaked out about it. I just kind of wanted to have the whole situation done and be over with. But I will say, on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being excruciating, it honestly was a 10.5. It was so painful. I didn't cry, I didn't scream, I didn't even, like, I didn't squeal or anything. It was just so painful. I mean, this was like taking tender skin and then just piercing the needle through it. And the needle wasn't like a safety pin. It was pretty good. Anything about gauges, it's not like it's an 18 or a 16 or a 14 where they're kind of like standard when you pierce your ears really thin, which you really don't want to get too thin of a barbell, which I thought would be the best idea, but you don't want it too thin because then it can actually cut your skin. You want it to be kind of, you know, sturdy enough and a little bit thicker enough, that way it doesn't actually cut through you. So so once he did the first one, it was, like I said, it was bad, but by the time it's done and over, I mean, he would go through and he was like, it's done, as I'm like, he's like, it's over, it's over, it's over. I'm like, okay, well that's a relief, but there's still 1 more. So at that point he came over and I was like, can I just have 30 seconds? And he was like, no, let's keep going. And I was like, okay, let's go. So same thing, he's like, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, same time. And oh, it was just, I was so bad. But then it was done. Like I said, by the time you're realizing what's happening, it's over. And so it's just that initial pain. But like I said, I mean, I understand nipples are sensitive. I mean, yes, some people are like, that I can't, ouch. It's not even about that necessarily. It was just the fact that it really did feel like he was just puncturing open flesh and just ripping through, because he did no clamps. It was all just hold and push. but it came out awesome. I mean, I feel like if you take a level and you level them, they would be like on point, which was a big concern for me because I would be, you know, fixated on it if it was like or messed up. I have mine done parallel. Some people have theirs done vertical. I liked the parallel look. So after that, me and my boyfriend, we went to Jimmy John's and I ate, and I felt like an old crippled woman because I was like, can you open the door for me? Can you go get me a refill? I can't get up. I felt like I had just had like a boob job or something. Like I felt like I couldn't move my arms. I brought a padded bra with me, one of those like thinly lacy, no underwire, just kind of those thin lacy bras to wear, and that worked out really fine. But I noticed the next day something with a little bit more support. I would say maybe if you had to wear a bra that was like a size smaller than you are is perfect. Same thing, I didn't wear padding. I just wore one of those lace ones that are just a little bit more tighter, and that worked out great. So there, the left one was the bad one. I don't know if that was because the first one he did and it was more tender. I really don't know. There's always, I feel, one good side and one bad side to your body. This side, when I was sizing up, was a breeze. I mean, it was so easy. This one was painful, it throbbed, it was stinging a little bit, and this one was not my friend at all. So in fact, this girl was good, this one was bad. It just felt painful because they do swell up the nipples a tiny little bit, honestly not much. But you want to make sure your bell's not too tight, that way they have room to kind of like get swollen, and then they can have room to die down. For me, I like it now that they're kind of like back to resting on each side, like on each side of the nipple. There's a little bit of room on each side. I don't like it when it's like the ball is right next to the nipple, just because it's uncomfortable. You can feel that little bit of pain. So yeah, I went to go eat. The rest of the day I took it easy. I just wore that same kind of bralette with a baggy shirt. Actually, I wore like a baggy loose tank top, like my boyfriend's, that's like really loose muscle shirt. So that was really comfortable. I sleep on my stomach, and I've been sleeping on my back now, obviously, because it doesn't, like, to the touch, it doesn't hurt, but they are a little bit kind of tender, and so I wouldn't want to sleep on my stomach right now. In fact, last night I slept on my side. So night 2, I guess, or Sunday night, yes, the next night, I slept on my side and I woke up and it was bleeding. It had a lot, ow, I just touched it, ow, still a little sensitive, but I did have a little bit of bleeding when I woke up, and I think it's because I was sleeping on my side. I must have somehow scratched it. It wasn't like an alarming amount of blood. It was still kind of like, when I woke up, it was like, I don't know, not cute. So I just cleaned it and I used my little saline solution. I've showered twice since getting it, and then I go ahead and apply this with the Q-tip just kind of in between the day, and that's about it. So I kind of noticed that also not wearing a bra is kind of nice, just so there's no friction, but at the same time, like the shirt I'm wearing, I don't have a bra on, and this is really thin quality, but it's not hurting at all. It's just sometimes when you graze it, that it's like, ah, ow, but it's not painful. It's just like, and then it's over. So all in all, I would say this is something that I know everybody's body's different, and so some people might think this is excruciating. Like some people, I said, might think this was a cakewalk. For me, it really did hurt. I would not go back and get it done. So thank God he did them perfectly, because if they were crooked, I would have had to just live with it, and I would have regretted it immensely, because, you know, well, damn, all that pain for nothing. That's really all I have to say on the topic. So yeah, I hope this was informative. If you guys have any questions, leave them down below. Which though, he did recommend that you don't want to go into the water, any pools or any lakes or anything like that, just because it is an open wound and you don't want to go ahead and get that bacteria in. He recommended to have those like stick-on cover-ups if you're gonna go wear a bathing suit, so once again you don't get any of that water in there. And a good rule of thumb, because I did a lot of online research as well, is if you wouldn't drink the water, then don't immerse yourself in that water with your fresh nipple piercings. But all in all, I'm really glad I got them done. They're so cute, and I like that it's kind of a secret, because honestly, my 2 co-workers and my boyfriend are the only ones who know that I was getting it done. You guys, of course, but I haven't shared on my actual personal Facebook my YouTube channel. None of my coworkers know I have a YouTube channel, so I still kind of feel like not a lot of people know, except for my mom. Cat's out of the bag. She's gonna be like, Mama, why did you do that to your body? No, why? Ew, ow, ew, ow. But too late. So thank you guys for watching. Like I said, if you have any questions, leave them down below. I only got it done a few days ago, so I don't really know how tons of healing process is going to be. So far they're looking fine. Just clean them up, a little bit of blood here or there. It's not like it's gushing blood. It's just a small little trickle, a few drops, clean it up, and that's about it. When I go to work tomorrow, I am going to wear more of a supportive bra, but like I said, even just kind of hanging out and touching them, it's not a big deal. It's kind of when you like lightly graze it a little bit, where it's like, ow. So seatbelts, I haven't gotten nicked by a seatbelt yet, but like loofah, same thing. If it gets caught in there, little things that you don't really think about how often your body comes in contact with materials until you are hindered from using them, or until you're more aware of them. So yeah, I know this is something a little bit different than what I usually do on my channel, but at the same time, I don't want to like limit myself to only one thing. So this was just a random video I decided to make because there was not a ton of sources on YouTube. There was a couple of videos from girls, and so once again, kind of like with everything on YouTube, I like to go and watch other people's videos and experience just to get more education, more knowledge. I think it's important for anything, even if it's like a new shampoo or a color line or a color technique or something. I like to research and see a lot of people do it because there's always better ways, and there's just tons of knowledge out there. So I wanted to go ahead and add that knowledge onto the YouTube community in terms of piercings. And so I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, I don't know, does this make people think differently of me? I'm not quite sure. It's kind of honestly, like I said, a secret. Not many people know, but I kind of like it. And now I'm in the ranks of Rihanna and Kendall Jenner, so very cool.